This cornerback class is ridiculous. Quite frankly, it probably rivals last season's. But before we get in, I'm Steven Legardell, better known as What's Crack-Lack, and it's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. And go ahead, become a bro and subscribe, leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. If you're viewing this on the website, hey, just man, follow the link or the hyperlink I left in the article and become a bro and subscribe. I talk a lot about the draft, so I encourage you to do that. Come check it out. Become part of the conversation. I got a lot of educated subscribers and they love talking football. And no videos for this weekend. I will be in a wedding. So I got the rehearsal tomorrow and then the actual wedding on Sunday. But ranking videos will start back up Monday. Hopefully I'm pushing some other fantasy content out there as well. On top of that, I want to stream Monday and do like a mock draft Monday where we just take a draft position and go. And I figure that ought to be a lot of fun. We'll see if that pans out. But yeah, also I got a buddy. He was like, I want to do some merch for you. I was like, sure, go ahead. I got his link in the description below. He's, matter of fact, he's getting married this weekend. So encourage you to go and support him. But this draft class, man, this cornerback draft class is really good. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a top 10. You can see the expanded list at Fan to Fan Network. So I highly suggest you do that. I got like 25, 26 guys on that list, but it's really good. In this top 10, everyone has at least a third round pick or higher. It's a very good class, and there's a few question marks on who could be the top one. So let's go ahead and get into my number one, Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech, man. Dude, he's really good. He's got all the traits, all the physical traits you want to see from a number one corner, from a press man corner, despite basically playing zone his whole career. But he's got those traits at 6'2", 207. He might even run a high 4.3, but even if he gets in the 4.3s, that's pretty bonkers. Last season he was shut down. He only allowed a passer rating of 26.8. Again, keep in mind, this is the year before. He wasn't that good, so we got to see it this season. And from a technique perspective, he's not all the way there yet. He could probably get better footwork, but physically a very good prospect. At number 2, I got Patrick Surtain, second, out of Alabama. He comes from a royal lineage. If you didn't know, I'm a Dolphins fan, and I remember the great Patrick Surtain, and this is his son. Biggest knock on Patrick Surtain II is going to be his speed. He might be a 4.5 guy. If he could slip into the 4.4s, that's great. That'll help him a lot. But yeah, his biggest knock is athleticism. But despite that, he's played very good in the slot, and typically be like guys that lack lateral quickness, you know, they would typically struggle, but he did very well. He's actually probably one of the best press man corners or press corners in this draft. He's one of the best deep ball defenders, or at least he was last year. He started since he was a freshman, so this is a large sample size we got. He's only allowed over 60 yards twice throughout his career. This guy, despite not being the best athlete, numbers say otherwise, say he's really good. So guy to keep your eye on. At 3, I got Shaun Wade at Ohio State. He's actually a lot of people's number 1, and let's just get that out of the way right now. I don't have him at number 1 because you need to play on the outside if you're going to be a first round pick, if you're going to be a top pick. He only had 12 snaps last season at outside corner. He plays predominantly in the slot. That's why he returned, I'm suspecting, because he wanted to prove he could play on the outside and play at an elite level. So if we see that, I'm more than happy to move him higher on this list. But he's got great length. He's very physical. Doesn't mind coming up and playing the run or playing around the line of scrimmage. Like I said, high-level athleticism. Again, there's a lot of things to like about him. I just want to see, can he play on the outside? The slot corners, they don't go in the first round. So he needs to prove that. At 4, we have Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State, and he too comes from royal lineage. He is the son of Asante Samuel, and As a Dolphins fan, I don't have fond memories of Mr. Samuel. The dude often took it to house. Not fun. But his son, elite athleticism, might be the best athlete in this draft. Biggest knock on him might be his size. He's only 5'10", 184. But this guy, he does whatever is asked of him. He's very good. He's good in man. He's good in zone. He can play on the inside. He can play on the outside. And he's not necessarily the playmaker or the ball hawk that his dad was, but he's way more physical. He's not afraid to come up and play, run defense. So another guy maybe to keep your eye out on. Could sneak into the first round. At 5, I got Isaac Taylor-Stuart out of USC. I might be looking at the 2022 draft at this point, but this guy is one of my dark horses that might declare early and go high because of it. He's 6'2", 194. You want to see him get around 200, but he's got elite short area quickness, good size, or at least good height. If you get to 200, then good size, good length. And he just kind of he's got great speed. He kind of has all the makings of a cover 3 corner, or an elite cover 3 corner. Thing is, he has a lot of last season he had a lot of mental lapses in coverage. So if you clean that up, he's one of my dark horses to sneak into the first round. And then at 6, I have Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. This dude's got good height, 6'2", but you know he's got to put on some weight. He's 185, and he has the athleticism, he has the length. He does struggle though with ball skills. He has 0 interceptions throughout his career, and typically with those press man corners, you know, they're playing the receiver and not so much the ball. So you could maybe say that's why his ball skills aren't all that great. But just something to keep in mind. And he plays at Georgia. If you're not familiar, Georgia's defense, at least how they have their corners play, is very annoying. They play this bully type ball when it comes to playing receivers, and they're so physical. Like in the NFL, those turn into penalties. Just ask DeAndre Baker. It was a pretty rough learning curve for him. So that's just something I worry with Tyson Campbell. At 7, I got Deommodore Lenoir out of Oregon. Dude's got pretty good size at 200 pounds, 203 pounds, and a 5'11", and he's actually pretty good at man. He's a good athlete, you know, not like the elite athlete as some of these other guys on the list, but he's a good athlete, very disciplined, and he's actually probably the most sure tackler in this cornerback class. He only missed 8 tackles throughout his career, which leads me to believe maybe he fits better at safety or slot, because you like those guys that come and make plays in the run defense, and I think that's something he can do. So he might honestly, by the time the draft comes around, end up being a safety. So we'll see. We will see. Does need to work on some of the technique, but I mean that's kind of a nitpick. At 8, I got TJ Carter out of Memphis. This guy, biggest knock on him, it's going to be his length. It's going to be his level of competition, you know. And he had a juicy matchup lined up for him against Rondale Moore. Here it is. I'm going to prove I can hang with the best of the best. Oh, what? They canceled non-conference games? That sucks. So that's going to be a big question mark. Like I said, his length, his size, he's only 5'11". He's sub 190. But the dude's got wheels. He's one of the best press man corners, at least when it comes to snap. This guy, he could shadow whoever. He can, even if when he's beat, he's got the speed to make up the ground. I mean, they didn't dare target him last season. He was only targeted 41 times. Compare that to his 2018, where he was targeted 93 times. Unfortunately, like I said, not having be able to play against better competition might hurt him, but he's a name definitely to keep your eye on. And then at 9, I got Derion Kendrick out of Clemson. This guy, he's still learning the position. Last year was really his first taste of at least starting snaps at corner. He's a former receiver, and you can tell that because he's got really good ball skills. He's really good at finding the catch point. He's just great at defending the catch point. I mean, he played Jamar Chase better than AJ Terrell did. And you might be like, well, AJ Terrell got victimized. I don't think that's the case. I think AJ Terrell did a fine job. He contested all those catches. It's just our Chase is that good. But Kendrick did a better job than he did. So, well, there is that. He has matched up with the best of the best. I mean, Chase is arguably the top wide receiver in this draft. And then, just keep in mind, the dude's new to the position. So, there are things he could get better from a technical standpoint, as well as, I mean, in zone. Kind of saw he often drifts off from where he's supposed to be. So if he can improve that in 2020, this is a guy that could slip into the first round. At 10, I got Christian Holmes out of Oklahoma State. He's a grad transfer from Missouri, where they play some really good coverage in Missouri. You had AC last year, who went on as an undrafted free agent. Nick Bolton, one of probably the best pass coverage linebacker in this draft. And Holmes was really good. He's got great size, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's elite in press man defense. That's what he played a majority of at Missouri. He has dabbled in zone, so keep that in mind. The thing is, his ball skills might be questionable. He only has 2 interceptions, and they all came in 2018. Matter of fact, his 2018 tape is a lot better than his 2019. I'll tell you that. Often when you saw him when he got beat last season, he was unable to make the tackle. And this guy's a sure tackler, don't get me wrong. But when he was beat, he was unable to bring down the guy, bring down the receiver after the catch. Which, you know what that means? They get in that yak, yards after catch. And that's something you don't want to see. Also, he's a kind of a liability in the run. He just can't get around. He struggles to get off the blocks versus receivers. But from a coverage standpoint, this guy is top notch and a guy to watch out for in a very pass happy Big 12. So he's going to be tested and tested a ton. But that's it for the video. Go see the expanded list on Fan to Fan Network. I'll leave the link in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.